Have you heard about alcoholic energy drinks? Have you ever drank one? Today at the In Search of Me Cafe, discover the dangers these alcoholic energy drinks pose to teens. Learn how to help yourself and your friends avoid these tempting yet dangerous drinks.
I'ma take it to the top, show the whole world what I've got. I've been waiting my whole life. Ooh, yeah, I'm in search of me. Oh, yes, I'm trying to be everything I dream.
Do any of you go to parties, or have any of you seen sort of energy, like alcoholic drinks, ever being consumed by your friends? I mean, I know you did, but I mean, do you see it more frequently than anything else, or?
I think that I've seen kids drink, before Four Lokos even came out, I think kids were drinking energy drinks and liquor at the same time, just because it was supposed to maximize the effect of the liquor, just, get them drunk faster or whatever, and give them the energy to continue to drink, instead of having to feel sluggish and you're tired, you want to go to sleep. They don't want to go to sleep, they want to continue to party, which is probably one of the biggest problems, is that it makes you want to continue to drink and continue to party, and that's where the hospitalization comes in and the lethal comes in, is you continue to drink.
Because it's not taking that natural course.
No.
Yeah, I've been to a couple parties where it's like only like Four Lokos, where they have like a couple of beers,
Really?
But like
so you've had like
Loko
a Four Loko
Pong and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been like a Loko party sort of thing.
Basically, that's what you want to call it.
Wow.
I've been to parties where that wasn't the main thing. It was there. It was definitely there, but it wasn't, the main thing being consumed.
And was it something that, when you were at these parties and you saw it there, was it something that you were attracted? Were you like, oh, maybe I should try this, or I've heard about this, or like, was it enticing to try?
Yeah, I think that's part of the motivation of people consuming it. It's because it's something new, it's different. So I've tried it before, I didn't like it, but.
Really?
Yeah.
And why was that?
I just didn't like the taste.
Tasted?
Yeah.
Tastes like medicine or something?
That's
what I hear the most commonly. It's like, it doesn't taste as good as it is, but it like gets the job done, Yeah. But unfortunately, the problem is it doesn't just get the job done. It takes it beyond that limit, and then you end up, blacked out. Like all, what the kids said on that one video, on that news report, or, how those kids ended up getting hospitalized for it.
I think what's attractive about it is that, it did kind of start with college kids. That's where it started. Well, if college kids are drinking it, then high school kids are like, oh, well, it must be real cool. Then they're like, well, and then they may have college friends that are like, oh yeah, I drank that, and this is what happened, and they show these really big stories about what happened. Whether they're real or fake, the kids are going to believe and be like, oh, well, I want that to happen, if I've got a girl I like to drink some of these with me or whatever, she might have more of an interest in me or whatever. There's just so much that goes along with it.
Right.
A girl's going to stop herself, a guy's going to stop himself if he starts to feel like, all right, this is getting a little bit out of hand. But with a Four Loko, they don't feel that. It just, it has its effect real quick.
It's a completely different type of impairedness.
Yeah.
Maddie, did your cousin talk more about, does he regret having done that? I mean, how does he feel about having done that experience? Did it scare him afterwards that, he did black out like that?
Well, yeah, he's never done anything like that, and he really only did it out of boredom and out of curiosity. And it was with a bunch of his friends, and he said this afterwards, he regretted it so much because he had so much going for him. And he was really talented, and he had so much going for him, and it just completely went away. And he said it scared the crud out of him, and now he knows that it's going to be pretty much impossible to get back into that school, and having that on your record is extremely hard to deal with for him.
So he actually got kicked out of school too? Just from that one incident, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So I guess, what would you do, in your opinion, and the way you feel about it now, knowing what you know, if you were at a party, would you end up getting one, knowing what you know now? And what do you think can be done, if not, to prevent this from these blackouts and these things occurring to other kids? What do you think can be done to help them?
Say sharing the knowledge, and now that we know what 12% of alcohol really is, because I just feel like most teenagers, you know, a big percent of teenagers these days don't read, you know, doesn't have any knowledge. And if we have knowledge of what that is, like 12% of alcohol, that's, you know, it's like you said, it's like a whole bottle of wine.
Right.
And if we know what that is, then we can share it. You know, we can share it with others, and we can pass it down. Like, no, this is too much. It's too much. Know what too much is, and then, you know what the right amount is.
I think maybe like not so much telling them how much alcohol is in it, because sometimes that's just just gonna encourage them to drink them more. But, you know, telling them what the damage of a certain amounts of alcohol could do. Okay, well, a beer, this is what it kind of can do to your body. And then if you have this many beers, this many shots, this much wine, and a Four Loko, this is what can happen to your body.
You at least run the risk of it.
At least run the risk of going to the hospital or puking for the rest of the night, you know. Kind of will deter some of them, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, five drinks, that's, for one night, that's a lot for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a crazy amount, and I think that's true. You shouldn't be necessarily saying, you know, it's 5 drinks. That's not necessarily the message you want to give them, but just the effects that 5 drinks can have on you.
We're teenagers, and it's already hard enough to think as it is. Why kill more brain cells? Our brains are already so, like, just mushed full of other things we're thinking about.
Or even just show people that you don't have to be in with the peer pressure.
Right.
I mean, I got invited to a Sweet 16, and it was really fun for most of the night. Then a guy came up to me and he's like, "You want some ecstasy?" And I was like, "Whoa, excuse me?" He's like, "Do you want?" I was like, "I heard you." He's like, "Well, how about a Four Loko?" I was like, "I'm
Wow.
good, thank you."
So ecstasy and Four Loko, I guess, are like more or less on the same level there for that guy.
Especially what's in the media now about them, just encourage them not to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially like all the examples about blacking out, that word should just already be like, wow.
Enough said, right.
So much bad things can happen to me by just taking 1 can of Four Loko, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think also, as you were saying, you know, one of the best ways and best messages that you could send is just by not doing it yourself. You
Right.
know? I mean, if everybody stopped buying Four Loko, do you think they'd be in production much longer? Probably not. You know,
It's fruit punch.
Yeah.
It's fruit punch. I mean, it's kind of obvious who they're trying to attract. I mean, what adults go around and drink fruit punch?
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess ultimately it's just up to you and the decisions that you make. And you know, you never know who's watching you. Somebody might be like, well, I don't know, you know, kind of on the fence. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. They see you maybe not drinking, and they're like, oh, you know what? I don't need to. You know, I don't feel that pressure that I need to do that.
Yeah.